Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Tiffany. I am a school psychologist in Northern Virginia, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I engage with a lot of school psychology related social media platforms, websites, and today I wanted to read some Reddit posts with you guys and react to them. So we moved to our new house. I'm in the basement because baby is sleeping and I don't want to wake him. I feel like you never really understand until you're a parent, but once baby is sleeping, you do everything you can to make them continue to sleep. You never want to wake them because putting them down is so hard. Anyways, that's why I'm wearing this thick sweater. It's kind of cold down here, and I also love this. I think this is from Aerie, but it's so cozy, and we will get started. So I just looked at a couple titles, pulled them up. I'll put it on the screen, read it, and then we'll see what we think. So this one says school psychologist and bcba. I'm curious about how common it is for school psychs to also be bcbas. That, and if it helped hurt in terms of finding a job, if it changed your role at the schools you worked at, and such. I know one school district near me requires it, but it doesn't seem too common to require it. But then again, I don't know if it's becoming more required or preferred to have school psychs also be BCBAs. I'm not currently a school psychologist or in a grad program, but I hopefully will be this fall, knocks on wood. So, I originally thought that it would be really marketable to be a BCBA and a school psychologist, but what I've learned in the past few years, talking to people in the field who have either both credentials or who have experience, hiring or know people that are BCBAs, I heard that yes, you are more marketable, but because of the huge shortage in the field, you don't really need it. You will still get a job as a school psychologist in most states, in most areas, unless it's super saturated. And actually having a BCBA and a school psych certification kind of lends itself to more work. They see you as the behavior specialist on top of being a school psychologist. And so they'll pull you into more FBAs. They'll pull you if there's any behavior concern. Yeah, school psychologists are supposed to be experts in behavior within the school building, but if you have the title of a BCBA, they will see you as the behavior person, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily what you want as a school psychologist, unless it's your main role. But I know in a lot of states and districts, they still want you to do testing, and you might also have a counseling load. So if you have all of that, adding behavior to that is a lot. So I think yeah, it's a good certification to have, and you also have the flexibility to just do BCBA work instead of working in the schools. But if you're just going to work in the schools, I don't think you need it. This one says emotional disturbance definition. How do you define over a long period of time and to a marked degree? This is something that my supervisor and I talked a lot about last year when I was an intern, because in the operational criteria worksheet, they have 5 different criteria for emotional disability, that you have to at least check one of them to qualify. And so, for example, it would be an inability to build or maintain satisfactory interpersonal relationships with peers and or teachers. And they have to have this characteristic over a long period of time and to a marked degree. And this person is asking, what does that mean? And that's a great question, because I feel it's kind of subjective. Is it 6 months, or is it 2 years? Is it their whole life? Or is the past few weeks considered a long period of time? I think what I've read is 6 months is considered a long period of time, 6 months or more. And a marked degree, it's just terrible wording. I personally think a marked degree is something that impacts you functionally, it impairs you functionally, and so you can't do daily tasks coming to school or doing your schoolwork, eating. If it's hindering your normal life processes, then I think that's a marked degree. But again, I think it's very you can argue a lot of different cases, and that's why it's a team decision, and you want to bring like all the data that you can to support your decision. Accepting jobs. If you're offered a job and haven't signed a contract yet, is it alright to backpedal and accept another, better job that is offered to you? I don't want to decline a job and end up without any other offers. So, I haven't shared this yet, and I don't know, I guess like I really didn't want to share this, but if you're watching this, I guess you'll find out. But I did accept an offer, like my first job offer that I got, but I didn't sign the contract, and they sent me the contract over like in July, which is when I was supposed to start my job. And I got another job offer in July, and I ended up taking the second one, even though I verbally confirmed to the first district that I was going to work there. So apparently if you sign a contract and you break it, like you end up not like going there and working there, then you're leaving with prejudice, and that district, like I can't work there for like the next 3 years. And apparently like they made a contract with the counties around them saying that I can't be offered a job at those surrounding counties either. And so it's kind of scary, like being my first job, like for me to leave with prejudice, but technically like I wasn't because I didn't sign a contract. So I think it's totally fine. You might burn some bridges, like people are not going to be happy with you, especially if you do it late. But I think at the end of the day, you have to do what's good for you, because your health, happiness, like well-being is going to help you do your best at your job and also take care of yourself. So for me, I was already pregnant. We already found a house, and the new job offer, like, it just made more sense for me and my family. So yeah, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. But it was so painfully difficult and awkward for me to talk to the district that I had to turn down. I'm really bad at having those conversations. What is going on this year? Just a rant. This is more just a rant. I would like to preface this by clarifying that I genuinely love my job. If I could go back, I would make the same choices all over again. Every job has its challenges, but I feel extremely blessed to have a job that constantly challenges. I'm continuously learning from my students, even if that lesson is patience. Now to the point of the post. What the heck is going on this year? I have 13 open evals, which is 2 times higher than I've had at any given point. The students I see have forgotten how to be uncomfortable. Every time something goes wrong for them, a parent is there to fix it, or they can avoid it, or they use their phones to avoid a situation. Parents are not helpful. I constantly see parents complaining at board meetings, but they are the same parents who I try calling weekly about their kids failing grades and never get a call back. The parents that are involved are Google fanatics who won't accept anything unless it is their way. These parents are creating atmospheres that teaches kids the world needs to cater to them and gets mad at the school when it does not happen. We teach kids coping skills at school, but they go home and learn that screaming gets them an iPad to keep them quiet. Of course, every situation is different. I have parents that try so hard and some that do not at all. This year is just tough. I have new staff in my building, so I try to stay positive at work and be the lighthouse, but man, I needed to say that to someone who gets it. I just hope you all are surviving. Thank you for all that you do. It is very rough this year, and also it is rough for me reading these long posts. I have nothing to compare to other than, I guess, my first practicum year because the rest of my grad school and internship experience was in a pandemic. The more and more I work with children, I am really learning that like parenting is so important. And if students were struggling before, COVID definitely exacerbated all of those problems and created some new ones. we're seeing a lot more like anxious and depressed kids because they were home all last year, like isolated, or spending more time with their family, and maybe they don't have a good relationship with their family. They're lacking social skills. They missed a lot of instruction. A lot of kids, they didn't do very well in the virtual setting. And so just a lot of different things going on. When you're in a pandemic for this long, you're going to see the impact. So it's kind of hard determining, like, does a kid actually have a disability, or is it because of COVID that we're seeing all these problems? Or is it like a combination of both? I don't know. Like, we can try our best to like tease things out, but it's been really hard. Did anyone else go through this? I'm currently in my practicum year and absolutely overwhelmed and even depressed because I feel like I still know very little and lack confidence. I don't know if I'll ever be any good or if I'll get fired. I'm scared for internship, and I'm scared that this feeling will carry on and I'll have to career search all over again. I keep searching for school districts where maybe things won't be so stressful. I don't know if that exists. I feel so bad because I get it. Like, I don't think you ever feel like confident until like way later. Like, even now, I don't know if I really know what I'm doing. And definitely in grad school, like, everything is like so new and there's so much information. Like, I didn't even know like we had to do report writing. It's like insane. And like the amount of like information that you have to learn within like 2 years before going into the field is pretty crazy. Like, I really liked school psychology because the program was short. Like, it's only 2 years internship, and then you can work as like a specialist, right? Like a psychologist compared to like a PhD. But after going through it, I'm not sure if 3 years is enough to like learn about all these disabilities, learn all the testing tools and assessments, and learning about school systems. Like, that was like so new to me too, even though like I've worked in a school before. So I get that like it's super overwhelming, super stressful, and you feel like you don't know anything, but grad school is preparing you, like slowly but surely. Like, you are learning a lot, and then practicum is there to like, you know, let you use those like skills and information that you learned in grad school, like put it to practice. I think internship is really where I got to immerse myself and slowly learn how to become a school psychologist, like for real. And then now I'm still learning. Like, I am a total noob in this field. Like, it's crazy how like I'm very grateful my school respects me as a school psychologist and a colleague, but there are so many times when I'm like, I have no idea like what I'm doing. And I don't know the answer to your question. So it's okay, and I think you just learn as you go. And yeah, it is very stressful, like feeling like you don't know what you're doing, but you know more than you think you know. It'll get better. And like, there are so many school districts out there. I think it's worth looking around and finding a school that you enjoy working at, whether it's like the colleagues, the work culture, like how they do things, what kind of work that you can do, because there's just such a wide variety. Help! Counseling a student with executive functioning deficits. I'm a fieldwork student, and my supervisor assigned me to counsel a student who needs help with organization. He gets 60 minutes a month of counseling, and I'm so confused as to what activities to do with him. He doesn't seem to think he needs help with anything and isn't too talkative. How do I help him with his organization goal? So far, we've done backpack cleanups, practicing using a checklist, and just random activities. I'm starting to run out of things to do with him. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm assuming you're a practicum student, right? Like, that's what a fieldwork student is. And I didn't know that like you can service like IEP minutes. Because like I wasn't even allowed to do that as an intern, and I don't know if that's like a state by state rule, but I personally did like tier 2 and tier 1 like not sped stuff. So this is just very interesting to me. I think your supervisor should have kind of like helped set you up with like either a program or like plan. When I did counseling with a student, I came up with like a weekly plan, sent it to my supervisor, and she gave me feedback before I started. And I think that just gives you like a better framework and helps you get organized before teaching them how to be organized. I'm sure people listed like a lot of good ideas, but I think it's always a good idea to like go on Google or like find a book with different activities and go with that, because a lot of times those are like research based or evidence based and they have a lot of ideas. And oh, something that I've used in the past is HOPS, which is like a NASP created curriculum, I believe. But it's for executive functioning. It's like homework, organization, planning, skills. I will put it up here. Oh, therapy dogs. I am currently in grad school for school psych, but something I've always thought about as I pursue a career in psychology is working with therapy dogs or therapy animals in general. I'm a huge dog lover and have always been interested in working with therapy dogs. Does anyone work with therapy dogs or know how I can eventually get involved with working with them? I know it would probably have to be separate from working in a school. Totally false. I've been working with therapy dogs since practicum, my second year, my fall semester, because the high school that I was at, they had a therapy dog come in for students during like their flex period. If they wanted to come down, like they made an announcement and students were able to come. It was amazing because students loved coming to see the dog. They said it was like very calming for them, especially during like high stakes testing. Like it would lower their anxiety, and they just got to hang out with the dog for like 10-15 minutes. We also got to like take the dog around for like certain students or like certain like sped classrooms, and I thought it's just like so much fun. Dogs are so awesome. And at my current school, we have a therapy dog coming 3 times a week, which is amazing. And I take the dog around on certain Mondays, and we take her around to different special ed classrooms and also let kids come during lunch. And yeah, she's awesome. And also the person that brings the dog is awesome. They have like little tricks and little games that they can play in classrooms, and the kids just love her. The kids love dogs. I would find out if there are any organizations around you that have therapy dogs, and then see if your school would be interested in bringing any in for your students. I know some people volunteer to raise therapy dogs and to take them around. Our school pays for the therapy dog, but the principal said okay, and we had a budget for it, and yeah, it's been amazing. Okay, I think that's a wrap. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to follow my Instagram for, I don't know, more frequent updates. I like to post a lot of memes, like repost memes, and share about my day-to-day on my Instagram, so make sure to check it out and like and subscribe for more similar content, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!